Hello, welcome to season 2 of my YouTube channel. In this brand new season, I'm going to impart some of my knowledge on you. If you are looking for some comedic relief, this is not the place for you. I will not be doing jump cuts. I will not be doing fun zooms. I'm going to be very serious and in teacher mode. Yeah, no comedy. If you're looking for some comedic relief, please return to season 1 and rewatch it, because Lord knows I could use the views. So let's get to it. What is a mandolin? Great question, thanks for asking. To be completely honest with you, a mandolin is kind of like a violin for dummies. Allow me to explain. These two instruments, although they look pretty different, are actually quite similar. The tuning of these instruments are exactly the same, the open string pitches being G, D, A, and E. However, this instrument does take quite some time to tune because it has double the strings of a violin. So you have to tune twice as many. This instrument, the violin, comes with a bow. This instrument does not. This instrument does not have frets. This instrument does have frets. Generally speaking, you play this instrument with a bow. As a beginner, learning to hold the bow can be one of the hardest challenges you face when learning to play the violin. Does this look comfortable to you? This is a very awkward position to have your hand in, so it takes a long time to get used to it. You can play this instrument with a pick. This is how you hold a pick. You make a fist, you plop it in there and hold it in place with your thumb, and then you relax your hand. This is a more common position for beginners, because as humans, we all learn how to make a fist from quite an early age. Moving on, this instrument has frets. It basically tells your fingers exactly where to go, and you don't have to worry about whether you're in tune or not. For example, on the violin, you don't have frets, so you kind of are guessing where the notes are. It takes some time to develop the muscle memory that's required for keeping your notes in tune. So beginners often sound like this. You see? So, besides the mandolin's user-friendly features in comparison to the violin, why bother playing the mandolin at all? People are generally drawn to the mandolin because of its bright tone and unique timbre. And the instrument is actually quite versatile, as you can hear it in many different musical genres, such as country music, rock, folk music, fiddle music, bluegrass, just to name a few. And there's really some great songs that feature the mandolin, such as Now for some logistics. Some of the most common chords you will need to know are G, D, and C. And when you are learning chords, you usually look at a chord diagram. These are actually just a visual representation of what the mandolin neck looks like. The dark black line is represented right here at the nut, and then moving downwards we have a bunch of horizontal lines, which are the frets, and a bunch of vertical lines, which are the strings. The dots that you see on these diagrams represent where your fingers are supposed to go in order to make the chord sound. The G chord looks like this, the C chord looks like this, and the D chord looks like that. G, C, and D. Now I know you want to. You can play G again. There are also different ways to read melodies on the mandolin. One is reading the notes. And if you don't play violin already, it'll just take a little bit of time to learn. Okay, here's a little clip of some note reading. So I'm not going to teach you how to read notes in this video because I don't want to. Though, another way to read notes on the mandolin is by reading tab. Now this can be represented by 4 lines with numbers. Tab is like a picture of the strings, and the numbers represent which fret you're supposed to play. For example, cool. Now I know what you're thinking. Micki, this is so cool. But where does the mandolin originate from? Where does it come from? Nerd. I'm happy to answer this question. So, where does the mandolin come from? Well, when a guitar fell in love with the violin, they started to develop some strong feelings for each other. Just kidding. Early models of the mandolin were called lutes. According to Wikipedia, there were many lutes in different areas of the world. There were European lutes, African lutes, Asian lutes. Here is a picture of what an early lute looked like, kind of like a big bowl with a lid. Anyway, it says here on Wikipedia that the lute was used in a great variety of instrumental music from the medieval to the late Baroque eras, and it was the most important instrument in the Renaissance. During the Baroque, does that answer your question? I learned a lot of this in music history class. Anyway, so Micki, what mandolin music should I listen to get me inspired? Well, in my opinion, Chris Thiele, or Thiele, I don't know how to say his last name, is a mandolin genius. Everything he plays sounds amazing, is so inspiring. It's incredible. It's hard to believe that he's a real person and that he exists on this earth. So, yeah. You really can't go wrong listening to him, so. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below if you are inspired to go play the mandolin now, or even to just go listen to some mandolin music. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time.